What's up, everybody? Welcome to the POVincent podcast here on the River's Edge Online Radio Network. I am your host, Vincent Didiano, giving you my point of view on movies. And tonight, I am joined once again by Jamie and Mike from Neo Trash Video. Guys, how's it going?
Hello.
Pretty well.
My name is Jamie. This is Mike. We are from Neo Trash Video.
Hi.
Pittsburgh's original trashy movie extravaganza.
I think that's fair enough.
Not pretty good, yeah. Now, guys,
We are trash-tastic.
they are. I've known these guys for a few years now, and I can confirm. They're seriously. I would not be surprised if you were the children of the Garbage Pail Kids. I wouldn't be surprised.
This guy.
Incidentally,
Ooh.
I have looked through all the Garbage Pail Kids, and there is only one Garbage Pail Kid that shares my name.
Oh.
And the only reason why is because it was some sort of Game of Thrones tie-in game.
They made those?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Well, I didn't know the Garbage Pail Kids were making a comeback. I thought the movie killed that fucking card franchise.
Well, I mean, like we did put the Garbage Pail Kids to our bad movie bingo.
We did.
Oh, God, that is right.
So.
That was that's a few months ago, right?
Oh, that
It was a while. But yeah, it feels like it was yesterday. I still remember it.
Anthony Newley, you did not have to have that as your final screen credit.
It was. Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I've never seen.
Stop the world. He had to get off.
I've never seen the movie, but I've seen plenty of clips from it, and just from the clips, I'm like, holy fucking hell! What? God damn it, 80s! What the hell?
Okay, let me just tell you right
cheap
now.
and ugly.
I'm listening.
I'm not sure if you're a big voiceover person, but from voice acting, Mr. Jim Cummings, the guy who does the voice of Winnie the Pooh.
Jim Cummings?
Winnie the Pooh, Darkwing Duck.
Oh my
He did the voice of Greaser Greg in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
And
No,
he
the one that pulled out a knife in a kid's film, Greaser Greg.
yeah,
right.
and Jim is noticeably embarrassed that he kind of has that as a screen credit.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on voice actors, but I've become interested somewhat, especially like with the old '80s cartoons, or even like more recent stuff. Like like I know who Stephen Bloom is. Stephen Bloom, is like a big voice actor from of the past 20 years. He's huge, and of course it's hard not to know Tara Strong. I don't know everything from Rugrats to Harley Quinn, but yeah. And also, like knowing, you'll probably know his name. I forget his name. I feel like an ass for this, but the guy who did he did the voice work for
Frank Welker.
Frank Welker, exactly. Like, see, holy shit!
Yeah, I was thinking it too.
Your trashiness is giving you psychic abilities. Like, holy. Frank Welker was in Transformers. He was in Ghostbusters. He's super talented.
Well, you might also be thinking of Peter Cullen, who did.
No, I'm not thinking of Optimus. I'm not thinking of Optimus, but.
Oh, you're talking Megatron.
Megatron, yeah, that was him, yeah, right?
Yeah.
I'm not wrong, right?
No, you're absolutely correct. But also, Frank Welker is known for being the voice of not only Fred, but Scooby-Doo on the titular Scooby-Doo.
Really? That guy's got a hell of a fucking career.
Oh,
Amazing.
I actually what I'm going to do an IMDb search quickly.
Go for it.
And all right, how many credits do you think he has total? We're talking
His whole career.
His whole career.
Oh my! It's gotta be it.
I'm thinking 180 something.
I'm gonna go 240.
I'm going to go on the high end. We're doing Price is Right rules, right?
Okay, sure. Yeah. Highest without going over.
Yes.
Yeah, don't overbid, Jamie.
Okay. So what's your bids again?
185-ish.
I'm going 240.
I'm going to say 500.
Okay.
Big spender, Jamie.
Okay. So let's just.
I wanted to go higher, but I was too nervous. I was like, no, I'll keep you. Jamie's going balls out. I love it.
Frank Welker.
It's getting intense, people. It's getting so intense. While he's looking it up, thank you for everyone tuning in on the live stream or on the River's Edge stream or on YouTube. Wherever you tune in, thank you for your views. But now let's get to the big question. What the famous, if look up Frank Welker if you don't know him, like Jamie's doing it right now. But God, what?
Okay, the man is 73 years old.
I had no idea.
Sounds about right.
And I mean, like, he's done anything from Megatron and Soundwave to Nibbler on Futurama.
Oh shit, he's Nibbler.
Oh my God, he was Jabberjaw.
But how many movies is he in, Jamie? Stop keeping us in suspense.
Are we going movies or TV shows?
Anything. Any project.
Total
Oh,
works.
wait, here. Filmography.
Aha.
There's actually a completely different
List?
list for filmography.
Okay, shit.
So we're looking voiceover. So,
IMDb.
Oh my God. Jamie is scrolling at hyperspeed. And we can't tell what the titles are, but it's like, oh my God, you were scrolling that for, oh my God.
Do yourself a favor, go to IMDb. It'll just tell you.
Yeah. I gotta do all the work around. I'll go to fucking IMDb.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I mean, like, will they actually say?
Yes, it'll
Oh
give
yeah.
you a
They keep
number.
track of that shit. Yeah, like the
At the top
hold
of the
on.
list, it'll say, acting credits. And then it'll give
Okay.
you a number. It'll say, receipt all.
All right.
Frank, we're going totally off script here, but I don't care because I'm having so
is
much
This
fun.
is this is kind of
Frank Welker. Okay, here we go. Oh my God! Acting credits 845.
motherfucker. Yeah.
Jamie wins.
I'm really embarrassed right now.
Oh my God! He's doing the voice of Scooby Doo in the upcoming Scoob film. That's gonna be
Zombie
him.
Island?
Scoob.
No. Yes.
Scooby-Doo,
I love Zombie Doo. Yeah, but no, you didn't see they just released a trailer for the newest movie. It's coming out.
Actually,
I had no
you
idea.
know who's doing the voice of Shaggy? That's going to be Will Forte.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of an issue there because Matthew Lillard, who's pretty much been Shaggy for the last 20
Oh yeah,
years.
I know a lot of people were wondering why Matthew Lillard didn't. Do
Yeah,
it.
Matthew Lillard was wondering the same thing because
Oh,
he didn't
shit.
find out until it was brought up on Twitter.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah. Oh my God! I have a friend of mine, my friend Jess. She's a massive Matthew Lillard fan. She loves the guy. When I tell her this, she's gonna be so fucking pissed. Oh my God!
She
But yeah,
probably knows. She probably already knows.
yeah. But Frank Welker, amazing voice actor. He's done the voice of Megatron or Galvatron, whatever name they were giving him in the movies, except for the first live action Transformers movie, because that was Hugo Weaving. But yeah, he right along Peter Cullen reprised his role as did Soundwave's voice. I mean, you just go down. It's like Curious George, multiple. He's been doing Scooby Doo and Fred Jones in multiple cartoons. He voices Odin in the Guardians of the Galaxy animated series. I'm gonna go scroll down way down. Let's see what else we can get here. I did some work in the Kingdom Hearts franchise. Let's see, Ice Age. This guy's just got this. He's like the Sam Jackson of voice work. He's just never not working. Holy crap!
Well,
Look at this: SpongeBob SquarePants, Star Wars stuff,
Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff. Mucha Lucha. I remember that cartoon. Masked Dog. He was in that.
oh, hey, Vincent.
Hey, Jamie.
Why did you invite us here today?
Right. I'm sorry.
about that?
Frank Welker, you distracting motherfucker. No, I'm just.
We love you, Frank Welker. Can
We
we
love
please
you.
get autographs?
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's movie review will be the movie that I've been looking forward to for a very long time. Ford versus Ferrari, starring Matt Damon and Christian Bale.
Yeah,
And-
it goes along the same vein as Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's only us gonna have. They're just. But I thought, because we were talking, because I'm talking to you guys for a while to come back on the show. It's been a while, and we were like, what are we going to talk about? And then once we finally had a date pinned down, I was like, oh, holy shit, we're doing Ford versus Ferrari. Let's talk about our favorite movie cars. So we each made up our lists. I've got mine right here on my phone.
Okay,
since you guys are the guests,
I limited my list to 5.
okay.
Mine too.
I think I only have 5 or 6 myself. I didn't do a count, but
Okay, so
where's my list? There it is. Okay, so which one, Jamie, you going first?
okay, I'm going to start off. My first one is actually just going to be a blanket because my first choice is the sum of the cars from not the movie Cars,
Okay.
Death Race 2000 from 1975.
Oh.
You've got anything from a car that looks like an alligator to a bull to a Roman chariot. I think there's even a car called I want to say it was one of the cars was nicknamed the Buzz Bomb, which incidentally was how the Dead Kennedys got the name for their song Buzz Bomb.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
That's always fun when movies influence stuff in music and lyrics and stuff like that. So yeah, Death Race. That's a movie that I haven't seen, but David Carradine. He's one of he's like part of the main cast in
And
that movie.
Sylvester
Yes.
Stallone.
Right.
Oh, that's right. Sylvester
Sylvester
he's in
Stallone plays.
That's his early career.
Plays Machine Gun Joe the Turbo.
Yeah, that
and
sounds
he's
right.
so over the top, and it's great early Sylvester Stallone. I think because of his role in Rocky, it gave a little more credence to people to want to see Sylvester in such an early role. Also directed by one of my personal heroes, Mr. Paul Bartel.
Oh yeah.
I think it was actually one of the earliest one of the earliest films that introduced him to his acting mate, Mary Warrenov. They would eventually go into being in Eating Raoul together, scenes from the class struggle in Beverly Hills, and their wonderful cameo in Chopping Mall,
Oh yeah.
where they reprise their roles of Nick
Oh.
and Mary Bland.
Are they that two old couple at the beginning of the film when they're seeing the
Yeah, they are.
presentation? Okay,
Yeah,
because
that's them.
yeah. Oh, continue, Mike. Yeah.
Oh no, I was just saying that was.
Oh,
them.
okay, yeah,
I was
no.
confirming for you that it was definitely those two.
Oh, okay, cool.
In those roles, they weren't just playing random people. They were supposed to be the Bland.
Oh, okay.
I love the eye roll they do during that scene, because it is so audible. You don't even have to have a.
They're
You
rolling
don't
it
have to
so
have a sound
hard.
effect. It's just like.
The molecules are grinding, and you could hear it. Oh man. Okay. Okay. The Death Race cars. Cool. Yeah. That movie. I remember they made that remake with Jason Statham, and that got 2 direct-to-DVD sequels.
I actually enjoy those, but they're not that amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's mostly cool just because Danny Trejo's in them. That's mostly cool.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Danny Trejo, and another person who is like Sam Jackson and Frank Welker.
Yes. Oh my God, he was recently reprised his character on The Flash, so it was good to see him on there. Yeah.
Well, actually, Danny Trejo also reprised his role from Dusk Till Dawn on what they do in the shadows.
Oh really?
Sorry, Vampire
what we
Council.
do in the shadows. Sorry, I apologize.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
it just depends on who we're talking about.
Right. All right, Mike, do you want to give your first on your list?
Okay. My first was actually Betty the Cab from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, that's a sweet choice, dude.
That was the first thing I thought of because I was like, what's the most charming car that I can think of? And it's this gruff, middle-aged, angry taxi.
Who is also voiced, just like Roger Rabbit, by Charles Fleischer.
Yes,
Oh.
and Charles Fleischer actually also did a bunch of voices in there. Betty the Cab was the only cartoon character from Roger Rabbit to appear in House of Mouse. And he also has a cousin apparently named Lenny the Cab. Did you know about this?
No.
I just found out about this
Not a
today
lot
when
of
I was doing
creativity in the
research.
Cab family.
Not really.
Lenny
Not
and Benny,
really at
this
all.
is Jenny, Kenny.
Yeah, it's true.
There's a lot of and of course their great Aunt Penny.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
there
yeah.
we go.
But here's the weird thing. He was actually based on a beetle, literally a bug. Not a car, but a bug.
Oh, I
in
thought
the
you were going to say
novel
like one of
Who
the
Censored Roger
Beatles,
It's
like
all
one of the
about
musicians.
Ringo.
No, it was in the novel Who Censored Roger Rabbit that was made into Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Right.
There was this beetle who lived in a junkyard who could talk, and that was the basis for this character.
Ladies and gentlemen, creative liberties. That's a hell of a stretch.
I hear it was a lot better than the book. I never read the book myself.
I once there's a YouTube channel, I forget the name of it, where they do like
Oh, what's the difference?
what's the difference? Yes, and they did the Who Framed Roger Rabbit and the book, and the differences between the book and the movie are astounding. It is crazy. Like there's only a few elements that really make it into the movie. They changed so much, but
But that's fine.
Yeah,
It was
I'm not
Oh, I
dissing Who
know.
Framed Roger Rabbit the movie. I grew up watching that movie. When I was a kid, I could never watch the end. Once the judge goes crazy, it scared the crap out of me as a kid. I wasn't able to. I remember watching it once I was a kid, and then every time I get right up to that point, I would stop watching the movie, and I wasn't able. I never saw the ending of the movie again until I got older. But it was his voice, his eyes.
I
God.
know.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd's awesome.
Actually,
great.
one other side tangent. I remember whenever HBO would do half-hour comedy hours.
Oh, okay.
They had one with Charles Fleischer, and it is some of the most cerebral, strange stand-up I've ever watched, and it is absolutely fun for me because it's just, again, I love those type of anti-comedy type comedy bits.
Oh, just for the sake of perspective, Charles Fleischer insisted on walking around the set of Who Framed Roger Rabbit dressed as a rabbit, even though he never appears in the movie, and even though he wasn't allowed to interact with anyone on screen because they had just the marks for people to interact with. So he was just off in the background doing his thing. But yeah, that was like part of his whole milieu.
Well, Charles Fleischer also makes an appearance in the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie as as a lab technician.
Ah,
Yeah, that man just got around, didn't he?
he really did.
All right. I think I'm going to give my first. I don't really have mine in an order. There's only one.
I don't think we have an order.
There's no
either.
order.
It's just
Yeah.
like
There's only one where, like, I'm usually the type of guy where I can never pick my favorite or my number one thing. But when it came to this, I had no doubt what my number one is, and I'll save that for later. But I'm going to start off with something whimsical to balance out the blood and the cartoonishness from your choice.
Is it Benny the Cab?
No, it's not. My first. I'm gonna go with whimsical here. I'm gonna say Chee Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, I forgot all about that car.
Dick Van Dyke hates you now.
Well, bed knobs and broomsticks. I would have thought of that bed if it was a subject was beds. You know?
Well, I would have gone for Deathbed, the bed that eats people.
True.
Yeah. I just like. I mean, I used to watch Chee Chitty Bang Bang all the time as a kid. You know, great. You know, old school family fun adventure musical. And the car is just like, you know, it's a cool car for one reason. One, Dick Van Dyke's character, he builds it to make his kids happy, so it's kind of like a gift to them. And then, you know, it's this cool old racing car that he dubs up, you know, and makes it all nice. And it's, you know, it's powered by magic and imagination. And I'm going to get into some later cars, but I just like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I could not bring it up as how many times I watched that movie as a kid. Great movie. I still remember the candies from the movies that were accidental whistles. Do you guys remember that?
Oh.
There was a tie-in toy where you could actually make your own candy whistles back in the late 60s.
Really? Oh, that's some good marketing.
Well, I actually have been in close proximity to one of those, courtesy of my job, where I get to be in touch with all sorts of pop culture daily. I have an awesome life outside of Neo Trash. Hey, what's that? You want me to talk about my next one? I'd be more than happy to.
Have at it.
All right. Okay. And I have to give a big shout out to my partner Agape for this one because she brought this to my attention. I'm like, holy shit, that is a great choice. The 1966 Ford Thunderbird convertible from Thelma and Louise.
Oh.
Just for the fact that it is the third character on that road trip, and it's so iconic. I mean, like, and who doesn't remember just Thelma, Louise holding their hands, going over the cliff at the very end?
Oh yeah, that scene. Even if you've never seen Thelma and Louise, it is such. It's so iconic. It's so part of pop culture that even if you've never seen the movie, if it's a reference in something out, like when it's referenced in Wayne's World 2, you know what it is.
Right.
So that's how you know it stands out.
Well,
so.
actually, I know this is not my turn for this, but it's not on my list. But mentioning Wayne's World 2, the Mirthmobile is also one that did not go on my list, but I just want to at least give it
That's cool. That's cool.
An honorary shout out.
All right, Mike, what you got?
I got the Batmobile from 1989.
All right, it's on my list too. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
now
thought.
feel kind of bad.
No, it's okay. We can share this one. I don't mind, man.
Okay.
You guys are my guests. Come on.
Oh, good. Well, you can take over on the Mirthmobile.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I didn't know it was designed. I knew it was designed by Anton first, but it was built on a Chevy Impala chassis.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's a
according to
stock car.
I mean, that makes perfect sense. I liked it because that was like the movie that got me into Batman.
Oh yeah, same here. Same here.
I'd seen the series, the '60s show,
Oh,
but this car was different because it had that whole shielding thing going on.
Oh yeah, the shield's like the folding armor.
Exactly. Where with the old car, I was thinking, why does it not get stolen? I don't think they have anything to protect the car from thieves, so that anybody could just jump in there. I don't think there's a top to the Batmobile, is there? Has anyone seen a top on the
on the
60s Batmobile?
No, it is
no.
topless. It is topless. It's fully
It's like
exposed.
it's like Mike's favorite type of dancer.
Well, you're not wrong there, Jamie.
Yeah, I don't think that. It's been a long time since I watched that old series, but I would like to like. At one point, somebody had to screwed with the Batmobile, right?
I
Right?
hope. I mean,
Well,
it has to rain sometime
Yeah.
in Gotham.
I'm fairly sure that. Oh wait, I'm thinking of Batman Returns, where the Batmobile gets hacked by the Penguin.
Oh yeah. Which was a shame because then the
is a
last time
shame.
we saw that version of the Batmobile, which in my opinion is the best Batmobile. It's once again I don't want to keep using this word, but it's iconic. The only Batmobile that I ever really liked after that one was the Tumbler from the Dark Knight franchise.
that was a good one.
Yeah.
Well, the Tumbler is nothing much more than just a huge SUV.
Yes, and that's why I liked it.
It's an urban assault vehicle.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. But yeah.
And,
No.
and also another shout out to Neo Trash here, but we did do the Batman 1966 as a bad movie bingo.
Oh, nice.
So
Oh my God.
yes, I will be putting these notes in here for blatant personal personal reasons.
Okay. Cool.
For reasons.
Yeah,
For reasons.
we have to plug ourselves as much as possible. We want you
understandable.
guys to visit us.
On a sad note, Anton First, sadly, because Tim Burton didn't pick him to be his production designer on Batman Returns, he actually killed himself. But they still used his design for the Batmobile in Batman Returns, to his respect. Like, that was the one thing that actually survived.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was bizarre. Like,
Yeah.
when I heard about this, I was like, good God, that's horrible. Like, he could have had a great career if he just found another director.
Damn. Well, I thought it was just the
Yeah.
Happy Meals that killed Tim Burton with the Batman franchise, but
Hey-o.
I mean, the Batman Returns Happy Meal thing was a disaster.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
yeah. I mean, listen, I grew up watching this movie. Even I, as a kid, was like, why is the Joker biting the guy's nose off? And I'm like, I like, come on now.
I just don't understand how they didn't realize they'd seen the first Batman.
Yeah.
It's not really kid friendly.
It is
The
not-
Joker is vicious.
No, because the whole point of that film is like is to get Batman his badness. Because unless you were reading the comics at the time, the general public just when they thought Batman, they thought Adam West. And I'm not trying to diss Adam West here, but that's not how Batman. That was how Batman was during that period when they censored the crap out of him because of the whole like comics code bullshit.
Well, you do know that that the first Batman movie actually did have a fast food tie-in.
Which one?
It was tied in with Taco Bell.
Wow,
did.
they scored a big one with that.
Not really. I mean, like, we didn't have Taco Bell over here at the time. I mean, like, we were in Pittsburgh.
Oh, right. Yeah, Taco Bells were kind of far spread out at that point.
Yeah, they started to pick up here in Pittsburgh during the '90s, but
Well, we were lucky enough to get the Godzilla promo back in 1998. So
oh yeah, because that turned out so well.
Oh, yeah, great.
But anyway, I'm gonna move on to my choice. Good choice, Batmobile. Just fucking love that thing. Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm gonna move on to who? Okay, so we just did the Batmobile. I'm gonna go with something that's non-fantastical sci-fi superhero-ish. I'm gonna go with the 1978 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
Yeah, Smokey and the Bandit, another movie that I grew up on, and it's like the whole story of him getting like because it starts out with him making the bet with the guys, like the big honchos in their white suits, right? And he's like, well, I'm gonna need some, oh my God, I can't. Burt Reynolds, there we go. God damn it.
Yes,
Burt
Burt
Reynolds.
Reynolds.
He throwing his charm. He's got the cowboy hat, that mustache of his, and he's like,
I need to smile.
yeah. He's like, like I'm gonna need some money for a car, and like the guy starts giving him the money. He's like, give me a faster car than that, and he's like, a little faster than that. So just the whole starting point of the car, right? Before we even get the car, these are like, oh my God, he's selling a lot of money. It's gonna be cool. And then there it comes with the Firebird emblem on the fucking hood. Oh my God, and just making the best of it. And like of course, the jump it takes across the bridge, which the sad part of the history of that movie is that the stunt driver who did that got paralyzed after that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, true story.
Actually, before it's out of my mind, was it Hal Needham who directed Smokey and the Bandit?
Was it?
God, I don't know. I'll have to look up. I was more so focused on the car. Let me.
Because I mean, like, if that just sounds like something that would be a Hal Needham type of stunt.
What the hell? Needham just courts disaster?
Yeah.
Smokey and
That
the
sounds
Bandit,
right.
1977. Or did I write down the year wrong? I probably did. Hal Needham, Jamie is on point tonight.
Who also directed one of our favorite neo-trash films, Megaforce, featuring one
1970.
Mr. Barry Bostwick,
Oh, jeez.
who referred to me as a horrible father because I allowed my daughter to see the Rocky Horror Picture Show twice in the theater before she was 13.
It's okay, Jamie. Barry Bostwick doesn't know you.
Oh, he's an asshole.
No, he's not.
You know how many people of our generation saw that movie way earlier than they should have? I mean,
Yeah.
that's why it's got such a huge cult status behind it. Plus, that one episode of the Drew Carey Show where they had a dance off for it. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was
right.
so
I
much
forgot
better
about
than the Glee episode.
It was pretty good. That was an extended dance number, too, for the Drew Carey Show. I'm like, what the
yeah.
hell did this
Yeah.
come from? This is just going on and
neat
on.
thing about the Drew Carey Show dance number is that it went back and forth between Rocky Horror and Priscilla Queen of the
that's
Desert.
right.
Yeah, I was trying to remember because it was Mimi was on the opposite side of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I couldn't remember. I knew it was something about a woman at nighttime. I couldn't remember what the name.
Yeah.
I'm not like I'd never heard of the movie. I just
Featuring
couldn't
the
remember.
aforementioned, previously mentioned Hugo Weaving.
That's right.
Talk about
Oh,
weaving
yeah.
our information back and forth.
We got everything is so connected tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It is amazing. But anyway, the Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. I mean, such a cool car, and it's like. I imagine if I remember correctly, after Smoking the Bandit, the sales for that car went through the roof. Everybody
I'm
wanted
sure.
a fucking Trans Am.
Yeah, and also just making Jerry Reed cooler than he was. Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking.
There you go. Yeah. All right.
Well,
So-
if we're going to be talking more stuff on the highway, I'm going to throw in my next one, which will be the semi truck from Duel,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
because Steven Spielberg obviously had. I mean, I know I'm kind of skirting things around because it's a TV movie, but it was released theatrically in
It's
Europe.
my show, so I will allow it.
All right, but
If it's
but
technically a movie, it technically counts.
all right, so you do realize there's a lot of parallels between Duel and Jaws.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I mean, like, I know
We're gonna need a bigger gas tank, basically.
yeah, but one of the things I think is so fascinating that matches both of them is that in Duel, whenever the semi, who you never see the driver, it's just this big hulking, terrorizing vehicle, making Dennis Weaver, who's this meek little salesperson, just not want to be on the road and scared every mile. Whenever eventually meets its demise, going over the side of over a cliff, you hear an old sound effect from a monster movie of a dinosaur screaming. Incidentally, end of Jaws, whenever the shark gets kaboomed
Yeah.
and is floating to the bottom of the
ocean?
Of the ocean, you hear the same dinosaur scream.
Oh, sweet.
It's again a nice
Yeah,
little
there's just
bookend there.
reverb on it and it's distorted, but you can still kind of tell.
It would have been so great if, like, okay, Spielberg's like, okay, I did a monster thing on land, I did a monster thing in the water.
Maybe we should do a monster on in the jungle. Maybe a place called Isla Nublar.
I was going for the sky. I was gonna we're gonna remake the movie The Giant Claw. It's like a flying battleship.
It's as big as a
There
battleship.
was Q, the winged serpent.
Oh my god.
That was a lot of fun.
I much love for the giant claw because it's just so goddamn bad. Did you? I know this is a side tangent you probably don't need, but did you ever play the Manos: The Hands of Fate video game?
What?
I didn't know it was a fucking video game.
Yeah, it's
Oh my
it's an
God.
8-bit style video game.
I'm assuming it's been made recently. It wasn't made back in the 80s or
No,
something. No,
no.
okay.
Okay, so
That's why Atari crashed in the early 80s. It was
I mean,
all
like,
It wasn't ET. It was just fucking
you
game.
actually had as boss battles. I mean, like you had Torgo as a boss battle, but you also had Roman, the robot monster from the movie of the same name, and you had the giant claw as a boss battle.
What? Okay.
So that makes. I think that's the second video game I've ever heard the Giant Claw being in. I think it made an appearance in one of the Angry Video Game
Yes,
Nerds.
that is correct because the Angry Video Game Nerd game is made by the same people.
That explains it. There we go. Oh my god.
That and also James Rolfe is an unabashed fan of the Giant Claw.
Oh god, I've watched it. Yeah, he's a huge Godzilla fan. So anything Giant Monsters, his Monster Madness during the October every year. Yeah, I went through when he did Godzilla years ago. I went through every episode, and I was just like, yeah.
There's my big podcast binge right now is Godzilla versus Podcast Zero, and it is it's a fun listen to.
Oh man. All right, so let's move on.
Hey Mike, don't you have a semi also you could talk about?
Yes, I do actually.
Oh, okay.
The Goblin truck, the Green Goblin truck from Maximum Overdrive.
Oh, sweet, good one.
Yeah, that thing. The Happy Toys truck.
I so want a shirt with the Happy Toys logo on it.
You should make one. Ask Rev to make one. Yeah, so it's what the hell is this thing? Like, I know I found out what kind of make it was, but now I can't find it again.
Oh my god, I just had a
What is the
horrible
leader?
idea.
Oh, here it is. Oh, sorry, go ahead. What was your horrible idea?
I just had this horrible. It has nothing really related to it. All it's related to the idea of we should make a shirt with an emblem on it. We should make a shirt with the Starship Troopers like army symbol on it, and saying like you too can be a citizen, and then we should just sell it to people and see who doesn't know what it is and think it's some kind of government shirt. Just see if we can.
That could
trick with it.
probably trigger a whole lot of paranoid homeless people. They're like, "What? What is this? What are you talking? What?"
Well, it just occurred to me. Would it be great that if you had Cars 4 and you actually had an appearance by the Happy Toys truck in there, since Disney owns Marvel now?
Yeah.
That actually could work.
Why not? They'll
here
probably
it
put
is.
it as an Easter egg in the next Marvel film. But anyway, what do you?
To be specific, the Green Goblin truck is a black-colored White Western Star 4800 truck. And it's described here as having a large, grinning Green Goblin mask adorning the front, and the eyes of the mask sometimes glow. Yes. And it holds a black tailor of it says, "Happy Toys, here comes another load of joy," and it loves to kill people. But yeah, Maximum Overdrive was a lot of fun. Only movie Stephen King ever directed.
Yeah,
And
he did a promo for it. It's like, well, if anyone's going to do it right, might as well be me, or something like that.
He was
I'm going to scare the hell out of you.
His body was composed of about 90% cocaine during that time, and it's pretty obvious. Like, just look at his eyes, you're like, oh my god. But yeah, that was a fun one.
All right. Okay. So, so I'll do this, and then we should get into our last ones because we're starting to run not too low on time, but getting close there. So I'm gonna go with another one. Probably not gonna be a big surprise, but I gotta mention it because it was one of my favorite movies as a kid. I mean, I adored this film, so I gotta give a shout out to the Ecto-1 from Ghostbusters. I've got to give a shout
That
out.
was on my list.
Awesome, sweet. We're listing each other. Oh fuck, hit the mic.
Sorry, Mike.
Give you a pat on the back.
I just for the record, I intentionally made sure that I did not put any cars that were seen in the Walmart pop culture car commercial, such as the Ecto-1, the Batmobile.
Oh yeah, that abuses. Well, I'm about to disappoint you with my last one then. So, but before we get there,
I was about to slap him. I'm like, Jamie, that is no reason. Like, if we're talking about pop culture cars, just because it appeared in a commercial that references pop culture doesn't mean you shouldn't talk about it.
But I wanted to go a little obscure. But tell us more about the Ecto-1.
well, the Ecto-1, I mean, the second it shows up on the screen in the movie, we got the joke where Venkman is asking him how much it costs. Like, oh, we need new brakes, brake pads, lights, everything, and he just is like, oh my god,
How much did it cost? Oh, only $4,800. What?
Yeah. And you're like, holy crap, this thing's gonna be it's such a piece of shit. And if it's the first time watching the movie, you probably think the car is just gonna continue, looks like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But then they had that first mission, right, or the first job, I should say, and then it comes rolling out, sirens blazing, popping out of the firehouse.
Oh yeah,
Zooming down the street.
And no other siren sounds like that.
Yeah,
it's
no.
so specific.
Like
specific.
Yeah. It's like a variation on like a European siren. I want to
Yeah,
say
that sounds right.
Yeah, and it just looks great. You got the siren, you got all like the gizmos on top of it, which they never explain what any of that shit does, but you just imagine what it could be. Like got that one thing that looks like a red candy cane pole that goes a little bit back.
Yeah, I don't know.
They never tell you what, especially in Ghostbusters 2, when they add more shit onto the top of it, and they still don't tell us what the fuck it does. But it's really cool. I love how the proton packs are loaded into like the former like coffin like rollout table, and they just pull it out. And it's all like nicely stacked next to each other, and
this is
so
interesting because the same guy who did the design for the Ecto-1 designed the proton packs.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
according to this, Stephen Dane was tapped by Ivan Reitman to design oversee development of the Ecto-1 from scratch. He also designed, says here, the proton pack, particle thrower, trap, gigameter, slime scooper, and slime blower, all within 2 weeks of the start of shooting. Like, this was incredibly fast work.
Wow,
I can't
that's
even believe
awesome.
this.
That is some great. I mean, that's really, I think you listed every.
That's like every
bit of
device
equipment.
they have, yeah.
Yeah, including the stuff from the second movie too. Like I remember, like the gigameter was like the partner device to like the PKE meter that they debuted in the second one. Had like the little like Martian antenna things on top that would go back and forth. Yeah. But yeah, Ecto-1, so great. I can't wait to see it again in the upcoming Ghostbusters 3, which Jason Reitman's directing that. So I'm hoping the fact
And Bill Murray's in it. It's been confirmed.
Bill Murray's in it. I just hope he wanted to be in it because he didn't want to be in the last movie. Sony basically bullied him into being in that last one. So I hope he actually is. Oh, yeah. No, if you rewatch the 2016 one, rewatch it, he's not giving it his all.
I can
I
tell
think he's just going to be making an appearance as the ghost of Garfield.
No,
Well, he wanted
no.
that. He wanted to get killed off if they ever did a sequel. He just wanted to. He said, "I'll do it, but I want you guys to kill me off. I just want to be a ghost that fucks with you."
I think that would have been incredibly fun.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Dan Aykroyd, had been working on the script. They were going to call it Ghostbusters 3, Ghostbusters in Hell. That was going to be the premise, which I think they took elements from that story and made it into the video game that came out a
Yeah,
while
I
back.
heard the video game is basically a logical progression from Ghostbusters
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
It's essentially the Ghostbusters 3 that never got filmed.
Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, because they were trying to get Murray to do it, and like he was one of the big reasons why 3 never happened. And unfortunately, Harold Ramis passed. From what I understand, they're definitely give Harold Ramis some respect in this upcoming one, and I'm hoping it's going to be good. I'm really like Jason Reitman. Don't let us down because we need a recovery after that last one. Paul Feig. You've made good movies, but that was not one of them.
I disagree. I quite enjoyed the reimagining of Ghostbusters.
I thought it was okay.
I thought it was okay
okay at best. I know other people enjoyed it, and I'm okay with that. For me, here's the thing. After the trailer, everyone was expecting to be a shit pile, right? I mean, because I didn't get pissed off by the trailer. I know that trailer pissed off a lot of people. I just found the trailer boring. Trailers are, let's call them what they're. They're advertisements that's supposed to get you interested in the product being the movie. And the trailer, if it wasn't Ghostbusters, I don't know if I would have seen the movie, to be honest, just based on the trailer. Anyway, going back, Ecto-1, classic car. I even had the toy when I was a kid. I remember I had like the little grappling hook thing to grab the Slimer figurine that came with it. So yeah, Ecto-1, great. All right, guys, let's go into our last cars of the night.
Okay.
Jamie, what's your last car of the night?
Okay, do you want the blatant one or the not so blatant one?
Oh God. You know what? Let's go not so blatant. Let me be
Okay.
surprised.
The 1959 Ford Thunderbird from Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Oh.
Because that is an extension of Cassandra Peterson's character. It looks like the type of car that you would expect Elvira to be driving.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think she was in season 1 of the History Channel show Counting Cars, and I think she brought that car into the Count's Customs to get some repairs on.
I believe I read that same thing also.
Yeah.
It's good that she still has it.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
amazing. I didn't realize it was actually her car.
Well, I don't know if it's hers or it's something that I saw it on the TV shows, and it's not most reality shows aren't really real. So, but I don't know whether she actually owns it or it's just because she's Elvira and she just tours around the country doing autographs and stuff, and maybe she just brings the car with her on certain special events. But yeah, she still to some degree uses that car.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Well, my next choice, my final choice, I should say, is the Bluesmobile.
Oh,
Blues Brothers.
I almost had that on my list.
Almost did. Well, I'm glad that you didn't put it on your
Yeah.
list, so I didn't have to overstep it. It's like they said in the movie, it's old cop car, which was a 1974 Dodge Monaco sedan.
Oh.
No, I love that car because there's like it's the one that of this all the cars we mentioned. I think it's the one that has like the most defects, obviously, because like that it just falls apart at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, but it falls apart gloriously.
Oh yeah, it was an incredible fall apart scene. Yeah. But yeah, I just love how it's like this contentious thing at the beginning when they meet the car when Jake Blues meets the car and he's like, "Are you serious?
What happened to the caddy?"
Yeah. I traded for this piece of crap. No, for a microphone. Yeah, I love that. A microphone. Okay, I see that. You know? All right. But yeah, like that is like he said with Thelma and Louise. That's essentially like the third Blues Brother. They wouldn't be anywhere without the car. The car drives the whole movie.
Right. Exactly. I mean, you have to respect how certain cars are essentially they are characters within their own movies.
Yeah, that's why we were talking about movie cars, because some of them just there's something about them that you're happy to see them anytime. You know, like, or if you go to like a convention, you know, at the Steel City Con here in Pittsburgh, I've seen plenty of vehicles, from, you know, like, well, replicas from movies, including one which is going to be my number one. We're about to get to in a minute, but yeah, no, they're just, yeah, you're totally right. You know, you don't have to be Herbie the Love Bug and have an actual personality to have a personality when you're a movie car. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to have the glowing light and be able to talk to Michael Knight to be a personality of a car.
I should hope not.
All right, so going from what I'm guessing, that was a nice clue. Vincent, was your first choice the DeLorean from Back to the Future?
Fuck yeah, it's the DeLorean from Back to the Future. Once again, so my favorite car, and once again, I'm usually not the person who can ever say, oh, this is my favorite this or favorite that or number one this. But I've loved the DeLorean from Back to the Future since I was a kid. I had all the Back to the Future movies on VHS back, you know, when I was a kid, including an extra special feature, little short hosted by Kirk Cameron, where he answered fan mail from the series and had questions. It was a weird video.
Kirk Cameron?
This is before people started to realize that Kirk Cameron was an idiot.
But wait, what has he got to do with that series at all? Anything?
Nothing.
Okay.
The beginning of the video, literally.
It's not like it's Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
All right.
The beginning of the video is literally we're like in the town square in the movie where you know the main big event where the lightning strike happens, and around the corner you see like, and the DeLorean comes racing around with a flash of light, all of a sudden, and then Kirk Cameron pops out of the car, and he just has a bag full of fan mail. He starts answering it from like various fan mail questions.
So theoretically, Kirk Cameron is the poor man's Michael J. Fox.
Yes, yeah, especially now. Nobody wants to hear from Kirk Cameron.
He's answering Back to the Future fan mail?
It exists.
No. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but why would he,
Dear
of all
DeLorean,
people, he has
I
no
want to just
involvement?
tell you how much I love you.
Because he was still famous enough at the time to plug it. That's what my guess was.
Crazy money plug. I don't understand that.
Well,
okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't get it, but that was him.
Wow.
Yeah. Kirk Cameron. That was probably the last good thing you were in.
Yeah, it was.
Well, the DeLorean was the last good thing he was in.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm definitely
all the Kirk
not,
Cameron fans are
I'm
going to be
definitely
commenting
not
now. You motherfucker! He's a proud Christian man.
And I'm definitely not mentioning his wife either.
What about his wife?
That's not. No.
The last good thing he was in.
Oh, jeez, Jamie.
I apologize. That was really wrong.
I know nothing about his wife, so I don't even know to agree with you or to be like, "Hey, man." I'm like,
I'm sorry. I just have to say it.
Yeah,
Please
but
remember
anyway.
that all jokes and innuendo used here and within is meant in a jesting manner. Nothing malicious or derogatory is intended and or implied. But I did want to ask you though,
Yeah.
going side tangent on Back to the Future. Were you ever lucky enough to go on Back to the Future the ride at Universal Florida?
I did not. Yeah, when I was a kid, I wanted to, but you know, this is at the point in. How do I put this? You know, my family, you know, we were never like poor on the streets, but we've gone through our financial issues, and there was the point where it's like, after going on several vacations with the whole Didiano family, where we would go to the beach a few years in a row. After that, you know, money-wise, we weren't able to do much after that point. You know, thankfully, my family's doing actually quite well now. But no, I was never. I mean, I saw the commercials, the previews, where I was like, oh my god, I want to go on that so bad. I never got the chance to. Maybe someday. Is the ride still there?
No, it got replaced by the Simpsons ride. But you're lucky though. There is a special feature on the on the Back to the Future box set,
Oh, okay.
where they have the images, where they have the footage from Back to the Future, the ride.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay. Maybe one of these days I'll get to check that out. But
I will have to make sure that the next time I see you, I lend you my box set.
dude, I would greatly appreciate that.
Because it is your birthday, Vince.
It is my birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Vincent.
Thank you.
Just to let you know, we were especially awesome to Vince. We brought him some presents, which he thankfully is not showing off right now.
No, I don't want to make the rest of the world jealous at what you gave me.
Well,
people would break down the door of my house to get you.
Well, we will tell you what we got him. We were nice enough to get him a couple vinyl records because he is such a film fan.
Right.
We got him the soundtracks to the classic movies Ice Castles, and from 1979, The Main Event, featuring one Miss Barbara Streisand.
Oh, but
Not Mecha Streisand, but actual regular Streisand.
you know what's funny about it? My mother, being from the generation that she is, loves Barbara Streisand. So I'm just gonna give it to her.
I'm sure she'll love it.
I'm sure she'll definitely love it.
Yeah, but just rounding this out, the DeLorean from Back to the Future. I love how they explain how the time machine works. Because if you're gonna do sci-fi, you gotta explain. You know, you got the flux capacitor, you got the time circuits, you gotta turn this, punch this in. This is the where we're going. This is where we were. This is where we are. I love it. I love how the DeLorean's a cool looking car either way. But then you throw on all the gizmos on the back, the nuclear reactor. You got the things that look like jets, but they're actually like the giant exhaust for the engine, and it just looks like a spaceship. And then in the second movie, when it gets to hover conversion, it's more like a spaceship.
Oh, yeah.
It is. I know it's a famous car, so it's probably not. It's not like this big surprise. It's like, oh, what's his favorite car? But I'm sorry, I love that car. I think it's fucking fantastic.
I can't blame you.
There's an author that I follow on Facebook by the name of Brian Paone, and he recently purchased an actual DeLorean, and it's wonderful to see his Facebook post because he's always showing off the restoration of this vehicle, and it is absolutely beautiful.
Nice.
Is he turning it into a time machine or just a DeLorean?
No, it's just a DeLorean.
Okay, I didn't know if he was converting it to make it look like the DeLorean from the Back to the Future series.
But we should have hover conversions by now. It's 2019, people. What the fuck happened?
I know.
Yeah.
Ford needs to get on its game.
Well, since one last Back to the Future reference. What was your opinion of the use of the DeLorean in Ready Player One?
I mean, like as someone who loves that car, I think it was really cool seeing it. Surprisingly, despite the fact that in the race and then in the big battle at the end of the movie, I was surprised how underused the hover mode was, because he never gets far off the ground with it. I would say my only problem with him using it, as much as once again I love seeing that vehicle and I thought it was cool the main character chose that. You have a time machine, and yet it doesn't have time travel powers. It's in this world where anything is possible.
That's weird.
Yeah, I mean, overall, Ready Player One, I thought that movie was okay. I didn't get much. It was because I thought the main character, I found him very boring. But yeah, it's just like the time machine. It's just there. Like, I get it. It's a movie that thrives on pop culture, thrives on fandom and fan service and all that stuff. But there's just so much thrown into it. You would think the stuff that they focus on the most would get a little bit more special attention, but not really. I mean, it's cool to see the DeLorean, fly over King Kong and during the one part of the movie, but it's just there.
My opinion about this is, don't get me wrong, I liked Ready Player One, but I love the book. In fact, if you get a chance to listen to the audiobook, it's voiced by Will Wheaton, who just sounds like he's completely understanding of every reference. But I view the book and the movie as separate entities.
Okay.
But what I would love to see, though, and I wish HBO would jump on this, is actually have a three-season arc of that as a full series. Season one takes the first set of chapters, 2, 3, and I would love to see that, but I will tell you though that all the pop culture references in it, that's going to be really fucking expensive.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's so fucking. I mean, remember at the end of the movie when Mechagodzilla shows up, they couldn't use any actual incarnations of Mechagodzilla. Yeah, Toho. Yeah, I'm a big Godzilla fan. I've seen everything except for the anime they did the past few years. But even I know that Mechagodzilla does not line up with any Mecha. And that's something like I got real fucking nitpicky about because I was like, if you're gonna bring in Mechagodzilla, bring in a Mechagodzilla that I know. Don't give me this bullshit. It's like, oh, it's based on a movie that's technically happened in the timeline of that future. It just happened after. You're like, no, give me Mechagodzilla.
They did bring in the Godzilla theme though during that.
Yeah. Yeah,
that was a nice touch.
Yeah.
Originally, what they were supposed to have, I think, was Spider-Man, the Leopardon was supposed to be.
Oh, Spider-Man. Yeah.
Spider-Man was supposed to be the big mecha instead of the Iron Giant.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got the Gundam. The Gundam was cool to show up. Though I would say I find it funny, like they didn't get the Gundam its beam rifle. If they had a beam rifle, the Mechagodzilla fight would have gone a little differently. I'm not saying Mechagodzilla still wanted to kick the ass. I'm just saying I think things would have gone a little different. But anyway, guys, so
you and I could probably go toe to toe on Ready Player One.
Oh, okay. Oh no, so much we could talk about in that movie. Yeah. But anyway, so we're gonna have to end things off there a segment. Jamie, Mike, thank you guys for coming back on the show. This
thank
was
you
a
very
lot
much,
of fun.
and please feel free to go onto Facebook, look up Neo Trash Video. We are always putting up new interesting things. End of the month, we also have Bad Movie Bingo. I believe we have a video game themed movie this month.
Silent Hill 2, the bad one.
Oh.
It's fun. It's just bad.
Okay, no, it's fun.
Next month for Christmas,
I'm not sure yet.
We might be doing it a little early, but we have slated, because it is officially a Christmas movie. We have Night of the Comet.
Oh, okay, cool stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, please check out Neo Trash Video, Facebook, Twitter. Go all over the place. These guys do a lot of great stuff. If you're only people watching on the live stream or on YouTube are going to know, Jamie just he actually wore a green shirt and we use a green screen here, and he just unzippered his hoodie and he just blended in with my show. He's merged with the logo. Yeah. God damn it! Anyway,
it's my Chud shirt. I love this shirt so much, and I was like, oh damn it, I can't even show it off.
Poor Jamie.
Another time. But anyway, for those of you who are on the live stream, we'll be right back. I'll be right back with my movie review of Ford versus Ferrari. For those of you listening on the stream, I'll be back in just about 10 seconds. And see you guys in a bit.
Thank you. Go forward and be awesome.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the POVincent podcast here. Once again, I want to give a shout out to Jamie and Mike from Neo Trash Video, who were just my guests on the show. If you're watching on the, if you're watching on the stream, or I should say, listening on the stream, I hope you enjoyed that. Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. Always stumble on my words a little bit here, but that's how it is with me. But anyway, I just want to thank those guys again. I had a ton of fun talking about our favorite movie cars. Great time. Lots of good ones on this list. Lots of ones I wasn't expecting. So that was very nice. But now it's time to get on to our movie review of the night. Once again, I've been looking forward to this movie for a while. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Ford versus Ferrari. Yes. This movie stars Matt Damon and Christian Bale and is directed by James Mangold. So this movie is based on the true events where Matt Damon plays real-life famous car mechanic racer Carol Shelby. God damn it. Shelby. We're just going to call him Shelby because I can't get that right for some damn reason. And Christian Bale plays Ken Miles. Now, this is based on a real event where the Ford Motor Company wanted to make a deal with Ferrari, but they basically stabbed them in the back. And Ford decided to counterattack by creating a race car that could beat Ferrari at the famous race, the Le Mans, which takes place in France. And they wanted to show Ferrari that they can contend with them. Because back in those days, Ford mostly just made cars for the average American citizen, not race cars. This was a whole new thing Ford was doing. In order to win, they brought in Carroll Shelby, who was the only American at the time who had not only raced in Le Mans but had won. And Carroll Shelby, after his racing days, is now just, now not just a mechanic. He makes high-end racing cars, just these sports cars. And he knows if he has to win, if he's going to win this, he needs the best driver he knows, which is Ken Miles. So let's get into this. First, we're going to talk about Matt Damon as Carroll Shelby. I didn't know much about Carroll Shelby. I've heard of him because of the famous custom car, the Shelby Ford Mustang Cobra. So it's one of the very few. I'm not a big car guy, and but I knew that much about him. I knew this guy was famous custom guy. Cars all up. Matt Damon does a good job as Carroll Shelby, because Carroll Shelby is a former racer, and he, just like Ken Miles, who played by Christian Bale, we'll get to in a minute, Shelby is a car guy to his soul. He's a racer to his soul. He's not just some guy selling. He's not some like car dealership dude. He loves cars. It's in his blood. He's got gasoline and oil in his blood. This is the kind of guy he is. And since then, he started his own company, Shelby American, where he does custom cars, like I said. But he's wanted to get back into racing because he kind of fell out of racing for reasons, that kind of forced him out. But yeah, and he has this balance where he's working with Ford Company. And remember, Ford is a business at the end of the day. So he had to strike this character is a balance between a man who loves cars, loves to race, loves going fast. It's religious to him, right? But he also strike the balance with like, well, he's running a company, and now he's working with one of the biggest companies in America, Ford. So he has to strike that balance where he's trying to be the racer, be the leader of this team to put this Ford racing car together to get it ready for this big race in France, which is like the most famous race on the planet, the Le Mans. Which, by the way, Le Mans is also one of the alternative titles to this movie. And yeah, he's kind of like I keep saying it wrong. Carroll Shelby. Carroll Shelby. Damn it. Carroll Shelby, he's got this cowboy attitude. He's got a cowboy hat on in so many scenes, and he's definitely talks like my daddy told me back when I was a kid. There's one scene he's talking like that. And I just think Matt Damon did a really good job with this film, and this character in this role. You really believe that he's like struggling to have this balance between the business. How do I say this? How the company's being viewed has to be somebody advertiser friendly, we'll say, but also this guy who wants to make the best car ever that can win the biggest race. And then you have accompanying him is Christian Bale as Ken Miles. Ken Miles, just like Carroll Shelby, racer to his soul. He knows cars. He's like the only thing he loves besides his family is racing in cars. When he's in a car, he can tell that the car is talking to him, what's working, what's not working. He knows what's good and what's crap, and he won't be afraid to tell you, because that's his character. He's very blunt. He really has no filter, and that's something that Carroll Shelby has to work with him on, because they're working with this big company, Ford, and he's got to try to pull him back in certain areas, and other areas knowing when to let Ken just do his thing. And Christian Bale is great in this role. He's definitely my favorite character in the movie, Ken Miles. And he's blunt and mean at certain times, which can lead to some good, funny moments. And he's definitely this character that, like I said, loves cars, but he's also got his family. He's got his wife who loves him, very supportive of him, and he's got his son, played by Noah Jupe, who was this kid in Quiet Place. He was in A Quiet Place. That's where I know him from. Oh, and he was in Suburbicon too. Okay, cool. Yeah, his son adores him. His son thinks he's the greatest guy in the world. And that's another thing for Ken Miles. He has to support his family because they've fallen on the hard times. And it's this thing where he wants to be a good father, a good husband, but he also wants to be the best racer he can be. He wants to do things on his terms. He doesn't want to be held back. And you see that struggle going a lot through the film, because we have the Ford Company. Tracy Letts plays Henry Ford II, and we have Josh Lucas playing one of his executives, guy high up in the Ford Company, I think his right-hand man, Leo Beebe. And that comes part of the problem with working with the Ford company, because there's a lot of red tape, there's a lot of bureaucracy, there's a lot of things got to go through 20 guys before something can get approved, and that's something that's hinder Shelby and Miles in the film, where it's like they're just trying to be racers, they're just trying to do it, but they keep throwing these stipulations on them left and right. So this movie also could have had an alternate title, have been Ford versus Ford, because Ford is trying to win the race because they want to make the car company look great and show that we can make these race cars, we can make these, these hot rods and these muscle cars. But they're getting in their own way because they're so worried about their public image. And this is it's like Carol and Ken had a second enemy, because they're going against Ferrari, which Ferrari was winning the Le Mans races for years at that point with their the Ferrari car. I mean, you don't know a lot about cars, but you've heard of Ferraris. You know they're high quality cars that can go just insane speeds. And that really could have been called Ford versus Ferrari and also versus Ford, because they just keep getting in the way. So it's added this other layer of challenge for our protagonists to get over this stuff. And it gets frustrating at times where you're just waiting for the main characters to let loose on these like corporate idiots who like, oh, we should do this and that. And I'm like, if we do this and that, it's going to make the car worse. Or if we do this and that, it's going to make it harder for the win. So it's like they're not only going up against Ferrari, they're going up against the very people that hired them to win the damn race. It's really cool. I liked it a lot. And Josh Lucas, who plays, Leo Beebe, he plays the idiot ass that, it's like, bright white sparkly teeth, and he's like, smiling for the camera and everything. Meanwhile, he's a controlling asshole. He does it well. There's a few moments in the movie where he gets some, I'm going to say what happened. He gets some comeuppance, and I was like, oh my God, that's so satisfying. And then you also have Tracy Letts, who plays Henry Ford II, who you can tell he's a very insecure guy. He plays it well. It's not directly, but, he's like, he owns Ford, one of the biggest car companies in America. And yet you can tell he's really not a car guy. He is a salesman, which adds to the whole getting in the way of our main characters trying to build the best car they can and all this other stuff. And I really liked it. I did not look up information on this movie ahead of time because I didn't want to find out whether or not they win the race at the end, right? I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who you're car people and or you're racing fans or whatever, and you may already know, but I didn't want to know because I wanted that tension to build. I want that unknown factor to happen for me. So if you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't know what happened in real life, because it's all based on real events, I recommend not looking up the real world events until maybe after the movie if you want to compare what they may have changed in the film from the real life events, because I part of the tension was wondering, are they going to win? How this is going to go down? And the racing scenes are great. They really keep you on the edge of your seat. It's very subtle. It's very subtle, but there are certain scenes where I'm pretty sure they may have used CGI cars, or maybe they used CGI to enhance certain scenes. But it's so subtle, it's so well done, and they blend it well too with the real cars racing around, and maybe subtle uses of CG in there. And it works really well. It really there's some things like, no, that's real. No. It was so well done. It was like in the first Jurassic Park movie when they switched between the CGI dinosaurs, the animatronic dinosaurs. It's a good back and forth blending, and it really helps the races so they can do more dangerous stuff without, recreating certain crashes that happened during the race and other races they were involved in before the big one. So the race car scenes, just well done. I was so happy with it. So, and it is a bit of a long movie. It's a 2.5-hour film, but it is well paced. I never felt like things were dragging or moving too fast, which is funny when in race car movies and moving too fast. But no, I was never bored. I mean, the movie's got good characters. I mean, everybody does a great job, from Christian Bale, Matt Damon, John Bernthal is in the movie as Lee Iacocca, who some guy I had heard about before because I was watching this documentary on History Channel about cars in America, how these companies rose up, and I heard about him. He's a guy that puts the idea to the Ford company about we need to stop making these cars for these family cars, and we need to start making cars with big powerful engines and muscle. So this is kind of this whole thing kind of springboarded off of his idea. I think it was done, from what I understand, it may have been a little different in real life than how it was presented in the film, but it's fine. John Bernthal, he does a great job in the movie as one of the supporting cast characters. Everybody, Christian Bale, John Bernthal, Matt Damon, Josh Lucas, Noah Jupe, I hope I'm saying that right. Ray McKinnon is in this film. He's one of those actors that he's been in a little bit of everything. He's one of those guys you probably know his face. You know his face, but you may not know his name. He's in this film. He does a damn good job too. I was just very satisfied with everybody in the film. James Mangold did a great job. I've been looking forward to this movie ever since I saw the first trailer, and I gotta say, I wasn't disappointed at all. I'm trying to think of at least one criticism I have, because I want to be fair and balanced. I can't think of anything right now. I want to be. I love this movie so much. I think this movie is great. So it's going to be no surprise that, do I or do I not recommend this film? Yes, I recommend Ford v Ferrari, or Ford versus Ferrari. Why are we just doing V now? What happened to the VS? What happened to that? But yes, I do. I'm giving it a big recommendation. If you're planning to go see a movie this weekend, I recommend Ford versus Ferrari. It is just great. I think this is definitely going to get some award nominations. We'll see in the next coming months. Like I said, I love this film. It did not disappoint me. Damn good film. So please go check it out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for the POVincent podcast this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Of course, I will be, I'll be back next week with another episode. Once again, we'll be, check us out. We live stream on Twitch, and we also upload to YouTube. If you are watching us on either one of these platforms, please follow or subscribe for more videos in the future. Especially on the YouTube channel, where I'm now not only uploading full episodes, but I'll upload the episode broken down into clips. So if you prefer, just watching certain clips over certain other things, I got you covered there. And of course, please check out the River's Edge online radio network, which we stream on every Friday morning at 9 a.m. And thank you to the River's Edge, of course, for hosting this show. Always greatly appreciative of that. But until next time, I will see you guys around. Take it easy.